I'm channeling that song by Coldplay, The Scientist. So something about like being very intellectual about this, but the specific line that's been coming through is, "You don't know how lovely you are." Specifically, I think it's either wonderful or lovely right there, but I'm channeling the word lovely as the adjective for you. And there's something about you being like a lover girl or a lover person in general, like you have a very loving personality. Like you just have a lot of love to give, and maybe this kind of like overwhelmed you, and you didn't even realize that because you had that relationship dynamic with being so loving that you picked people who would reflect back your perspective of love. So essentially, I think that you were trying to fit your love into small containers and it wasn't working for you. Your vision is way bigger than only loving like one person ever, only having one friend, or only hanging out with one person that you work with ever. Like it's giving like you are somebody who is meant to reach a lot of people, come into interaction with a lot of people, maybe even on a day-to-day basis, but just in your lifetime, maybe even online, you're meant to reach a large collective of people, and your loving energy is the basis of why that is true. Like, of course, some people have other intentions for why they end up in the public eye or why they end up reaching a lot of people, but you don't even have the intention of being in the public eye as much as you have the intention of being a loving being. It's almost like your lovingness is the thing that is creating the whole concept of fame in the first place, because you just know damn well that you're going to be working with people in this lifetime to such an extent that you will just have to be famous. And so taking the fame out of the equation and back into the lover energy, you are in this observing mode of how loving you are. It's like you're a newborn child and you've just woken up to your reality, which is you are filled with the personality of love. Like it's like just your demeanor to be in this way. And when you're in that observer mode and you're making things more simple for yourself, there's so much to be aware of. You're starting to be more aware of your mind and what you focus on, of your environments and how they feel for you, even noticing little things like the ice machine on, or the laundry, how it being loud, or makes you feel like, it doesn't make you feel comforted or overwhelmed depending on the time of the day. You're starting to notice things that you just didn't notice before because you weren't being honest with you and being honest with what feels good for you. And I think the thing that made you woke up was like maybe you fell in love with somebody, or you had a rendezvous, is what I heard, where you got back into that lover mode and you were like, oh shit, I'm extreme. This is who I am. You're the kind of person that makes gift baskets for people. You're the kind of person that writes love letters. That's what I'm getting. Maybe you're finally going to be moving into relationships where people are writing love letters for you. And it's because you finally accepted that that's what you want. You want love letters. You want to feel the loveliness of things. You just ran from it because people told you that it wasn't acceptable of you to be that way. That you were supposed to hide or play pretend, as if you could change that, as if you could change how great you are. And so you really dimmed your light in the past for other people. You just did, but it wasn't conscious. And something woke up within your DNA. Maybe you've been doing Kundalini work, sacral chakra work, moving the energy up your spine, essentially. And as you do that, you're waking up the DNA. And you woke up some DNA, but it didn't mean that the DNA before got turned off yet. And so I think that's kind of where you are, is getting super conscious of what DNA you don't want to activate anymore. Survival mode DNA or victim mode DNA. Even just like not being trusting or faithful DNA. I feel like all of that is becoming conscious to you, that it doesn't resonate with your love mentality of life. And maybe it seems cheesy, or maybe it seems like too good to be true that you are you. And I think that's what people try to convince you, because they felt you were too good to be true. So they tried to convince you that your mindset on things was too good to be true. It's not all rainbows and sunshines, I just heard. But the thing is you're aware that rainbows come after rain. You just know that the rainbow's gonna come. You're aware that the sunshine, isn't always there. You're just aware of the fact that it will come back out. You keep that attitude. 555 on the timer. You have the attitude of eventually it will work out. And in the meantime, I'll control what I can control to make it work for the highest good, and release what the fuck I can't. Because why the fuck would you stress over shit you have no control over? Other people's actions, by the way, is a good example of that. How your family acts, how the public acts. That's not in your control. You can only control your mindset, your perspective, your reaction, or your response is the better way to do it. Your actions in this lifetime, what you be doing, what you up to. That's it. You get very clear with yourself. I heard bingo when we were on live a little bit ago. Bingo. You're hitting a bingo, okay? You're hitting it took a lot of darts at the dartboard to hit bullseye. Like it took so many different things for you to say, enough is enough. The bingo doesn't necessarily feel exciting as much as it feels like a relief that the game of bingo is over. I knew that something wasn't lining up, and it should have lined up. And coming to that revelation of this was exposure therapy for you to see what wasn't enough for you. There's grief to work through now, and acceptance, and just a reminder to take your damn time. There isn't necessarily an issue at hand. There's more so just the processes that come with the seasons changing within our own lives, within our careers, upgrading our careers, changing our careers, within our relationships, changing the dynamics, upgrading, getting new friends, whatever it may be. Communities growing, developing, your position in the community growing, developing. You got to have that foundation to feel like a winner, no matter what happens. And the foundation you're being called to have is to know that you're lovely, to know that you're loving, and to know that you are a lover. I love you.